I will say that that has to be one of my favorite games that we've gotten the chance to see either today or yesterday. It is the longest match that we have casted thus far, actually. From the official record books. This isn't even an opinion. The producer literally said that's the longest match that we have ever seen. That was insanity. The orbital commands moving around throughout the game just due to the fact that DDE was mining out the gold. It makes you realize how smart the gold mine out was. He was planning on having that be a vulnerable spot later, so better mine out and then retreat.
Yeah, he actually took that right after that big attack in the center and then fortified it with a ton of missile turrets, a ton of bunkers, and a ton of siege tanks. So EGIdra Fields, it was just great play from both players in general, but he actually was the one to secure that victory. We're going to be going on to Game 2. Sean has started the game, and we're jumping in to clap like a seal.
Seal. We're very, very happy about this match because, honestly, this is the highlight match of Round 1. These players have history between them. There's been the exchange of words and, of course, the exchange of incredible gameplay as we see DDE spawning in the bottom left as the blue Terran, narrowly losing to Idra. And in the bottom right, we see EGIdra playing some of the best Zerg I've seen in a long time. But I do want to point out, at MLG, we saw Idra play a phenomenal game against OGS MC, taking down OGS MC 2-0 in the first game of the day. And then he faltered later on in the tournament. Will Idra do the same here?
I feel like Greg right now, with that extra practice, was just able to almost help his issues when it came to kind of going on tilt, making sure that he's always in a very stable state of mind and making sure that it's focusing on the game, making sure that his emotions just don't overrun his gameplay.
Definitely.
So we'll have to see in this tournament as it progresses forward if that is actually completely true or if that was just a one-game runoff. Regardless, it was a great Game 1 between DDE and Idra, and we're going to see Game 2 here as we see another depot right next to that command center, which may signify another racks and a one racks expand from the Terran player, DDE.
See the barracks going down up on the high ground. It's a little bit surprising just because so often Terrans will just straight build barracks on the low ground, but this gives DDE the opportunity to go for a one barracks early expand, wait a little while, and then build barracks 2 and 3, completing the wall off. Idra knows that the early expand's so safe on this map, though the bunker rushes are popular. Being really, really good at Zerg is the best counter to that.
That is indeed one of the best counters. Now, there's a hatchery going down, a drone going out for Idra. He's going to go ahead and try to find his opponent, see exactly what is going on and what he is up to. I believe he did see, yes, now he sees the SCVs there right along the edge of the base, which is a very smart thing to do, not reveal where you're at just yet, although this drone coming from the right side will at least notify him that this is not a rigged map. You cannot spawn vertically from your opponent, and there's a command center going down for DDE. I believe that drone can still sneak in there, though.
Whoa! How embarrassing. Oh, well, Idra realizes that he doesn't want to overstay his welcome.
For the first time
home.
in Greg's life, he's actually like, no, you can actually, you can
No, take that early expand. That sounds great to me. There's the extractor and the spawning pool being planted for EGIdra, making sure to get that gas early so he can secure that Zergling speed. Again, a little surprised that DDE did not get the correct wall off down, but once again following it up with the double refinery. It's very easy to control space on this map with those blue flame Hellions. Very difficult to actually break up into the main to deal damage, though.
I love this Overlord from Idra at the very, very back base, or back portion of DDE's base, going all the way around, all the way up to that natural, just to see how many SCVs DDE is going to commit to it. It's a very, very smart play. It's always good to use those Overlords to their best advantage, making sure that you don't just have them sitting around not doing too much. Two Queens about to pop up. It's looking very, very similar from last game. There goes the metabolic speed started on that spawning pool. And the factory started back in the base of DDE.
Continuing to add on those larvae. I mean, you always hear us say, man, it's so great to see him being really consistent with that larva inject. But Greg rarely even gets over like 27 energy on his queens. Continuing to just add on some of the most spot-on injects that you will ever see. And oh, DDE, how delightful it is to see you doing this style. He's going to be getting a, I'm not even going to give options here. I've seen him do this before, and I'm going to assume he's doing it again.
Break it down, Sean.
He is going to immediately be getting a starport He's going to be getting siege tanks. He's going to be going for a drop back here. He might try to sneak in just a regular marine medevac push at the outset, but definitely a fast starport is about to plop down. Here it comes, JP.
I'm going to let you have this moment, Sean. If it doesn't come down.
In Idra's base, we see him taking a second extractor and a third one, so it looks like
quick layer
he's not going to be getting as fast a layer as someone like Liquid Ret, but he's going to be getting a little bit more economy.
Looking for that starport, Sean. Are you starting to get nervous?
Yes.
See the old switcheroo onto that tech lab. Onto the reactor. Another tech lab being added on. 3 total for DDE, and it has been scouted by this overlord. Is Greg going to be as perplexed as Sean is right now?
Well, let me tell you something. As the person who is getting owned hardest in this game, I would like to state that I don't think that DDE is going to be going for those big drops, but it looks like he's going for a big Marauder Hellion push. We haven't seen this since the early days of Beta.
Also known as, now I can't even say Beta. Now, okay, I just said it. That's Beta for us North Americans here. So, Spine Crawler going down right at the ramp from EGIdra. That will, of course, help out against those Hellions, which he did see earlier on. 2 of them going all the way to the north, and the Speedlings of Idra will be going back into the base. 2 more Spine Crawlers, maybe even a 4th going down. Did see those 3 racks. He knows that the Marauders might be coming. A scan going down. Spire started. Does he, in fact, see it? No, he does not, because it is at the natural. Stim about halfway complete. That might signal the time for the attack, or DDE might just move out right now.
And weirdly enough, we see 3 factories incoming. I mean, DDE playing downright nutty. We see that it looks like he has halted the Marauder production at just 5. Idra is preparing for this all-in, but I think the style is so weird and so shocking from DDE that Idra is actually overproducing defense, and that we might see a bunch of Thors pop out, easily dealing with these Mutalisks. And once again, DDE has delayed a third for Idra by a significant amount.
See the Great Wall of Giraffes, aka Spine Crawlers, here at the natural. Spire about to finish. Does have a huge amount of gas. He's going to be able to pop out probably around 9, maybe 10 by the time that Spire finishes right off the bat. +1 upgrades immediately starting for those vehicle weapons, as well as popping out that Thor and getting some missile turrets set up. Evolution Chamber started for Idra, and there are the Mutalisks, as well as that Flyer attacks level 1 starting on that Spire.
7 Mutalisks right now, Evo Chamber. Don't think this is going to be starting upgrades too early, just due to the fact that Idra not only doesn't have a 3rd base, but also has no 3rd hatch. There we see the 2 Thors in production, a little bit of supply block by DDE, but he amazingly uses that extra supply call down. And this base structure is just funky. And the 3rd command center coming up. I'm most shocked about this naked tech lab. Why is one barracks not holding on to that to get perhaps a little bit faster of a stim? Or perhaps he's just going to be going mech from here on out. I mean, oh, the Marauders. Oh, a blunder by DDE. This is a big loss at this phase in the game.
Yeah, the Hellions getting caught off guard here from some lings in the center. Idra pulling those banelings back to make sure he does not lose them, as he is quite precious right now when it comes to gas. Communities are trying their best to clean up these Hellions. They are going to not get these 2 remaining Hellions, but the Overlord here will in fact see them, and they should clean them up. Or Drake might just let them live to tell another tale. Thor's moving out down at the natural. There's still 1 in the main as well. Turrets are up as well. Total of, looks like 9 meters out on the field. Bailing speed very close to being finishes. 11 meters in total. There's a Hellion trying to see if the 3rd is up. And it is going to see it.
Spots it, so that means DDE now has a timing for his attack. I want to point something out, JP. Look at what Idra sees in the main. He sees a lot of barracks here. And then when we release the vision, we see how different it looks. I mean, nothing is even in its same place except this one single factory. The amount of Thors that he is going to see is going to be shocking. Look at this, the high-sec auto-tracking. That is the range upgrade for planetary fortresses and missile turrets. And I think Idra is very surprised to see this mixture in the main.
A couple of volleys coming out there from the Thors. Now, to deal with a huge mass of Thors, Sean, what is the best unit composition that a Zerg can do? Is it something like a ton of roaches?